But I kind of want to get into a little bit about you first. So I had a big question. What was your aha moment like? I made it, or was it in college where you're like, I can actually play in the NBA? When did that kind of happen for you?
Oh, I don't think I ever had like a aha moment, but I did think that I could, like, I belonged. I thought I could play in the league. In college, I thought it was a high school. It kind of went backwards. Like you had to go back. Like you kind of blow up, then it kind of goes backwards. So high school, I was a McDonald's All American. That's when I was like, oh, you know what? I might have a chance. I snuck into the McDonald's game, but I wasn't one of the top recruits. And my year was the last year you can go straight from high school to the NBA. And then when I got to college, kind of start all over again because I went right to the bottom of the totem pole, and I didn't start till my senior year. Then my junior year, I was like, I started playing more. I was like, you know what, I might have a chance. My senior year, we played pretty well, and we won a national championship. So I thought I could. And I think one of my first couple of practices in Cleveland, playing against Bron and Shaq was there.
Yeah.
That was probably the moments of like, all right, and training camp, summer league, of doing some simple things with drills. And I was like, all right. And then see my teammates, kind of thrive. I was like, you know what, I play with these guys, so like seeing my counterparts be able to do that, I'm like, I should be able to do this as well. I've played and practiced with these guys pretty much my whole life. But I never felt like an aha moment or comfortable that I was like a rotational player in the league in San Antonio, because Pop never allowed us to feel that.
Yeah, that's true.
It never felt like, you had, your job was never stable. Somebody's always coming for it. Any given moment, you could be in the doghouse, you could be starting to not playing at all. When it came to him, you do something wrong. So I never felt that when I was there. I think probably after I left there, it was like, okay, I think I'm a solid rotational player in this league now. I've earned that for some time, but I still have to continue. That experience never allowed me to feel comfortable in my position.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think it's great for a lot of young guys, because if from like the outside, if you look at your accolades, right? You McDonald's All-American, as you mentioned. You went to Duke, got drafted in the NBA.
No, I did not go to Duke.
You did not go to Duke. You went to North Carolina. Oh my God, that is right. You were a Tar Heel.
Did not mistake that one.
Yeah,
no.
That's one mess up right there. You were a Tar Heel. Sorry,
Eric.
My bleed blue over here. No, I'm kidding. No, you were a Tar Heel, and you went obviously drafted in the NBA, but you did go through a lot of, right in the beginning, as you just mentioned, trials and tribulations, and you earned a spot in the league. And so, I mean, that's just amazing to see, because obviously you got guys that are top picks, and that they're destined for greatness, but you kind of just, you had to show out and you had to work your ass off, I assume.
Yeah, man. I was fortunate enough for my body to be good and hold up for as long as it did, up until the injury, which was like more of a car accident type of injury. It wasn't like a movement injury. So for 13 years, no major injuries. And, my counterparts, again, my teammates, they were all projected to have better careers. They were younger. They were more talented. I had to really work at it and earn my rotational spot. But I watched all of them get drafted way ahead of me, first rounds, most of them lottery. Tyler Hansborough was lottery, and then Ty Lawson and Wayne Ellington were first round. I was second round. And then, of course, other guys behind me, like Ed Davis played with me, Tyler Zell. Like, we had guys before that came out and guys after that came out that were really good. Carolina, we, at that time, were producing a good amount of pros. So to be one of the guys that, stuck in the league and have my body hold up and last one of the longest, careers, tenures, out of my counterpart, like out of my ex-teammates, my college teammates, was something that I was like, it made me feel good about myself, but I had to work for it. Like, they were definitely more talented to me. But again, not everybody's body holds up like that. So I was fortunate enough to have a good body. And I think it's all genetic, because, I mean, I did a decent job of taking care of it, but no way I like from the start to finish, I did all the small things when I first came out to be like, all right, like if I did what LeBron James did, maybe, you can't predict that type of injury to happen.
Yeah.
But if I did all the small things from start to finish, from rookie year to on, like, I would have been way fresher in year 13, 14. My body held up a little bit better. But granted, with all that and not doing all those things, like it did a great job of keeping me afloat. So I've been very lucky and blessed to have some pretty good genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can imagine, player A and player B could be doing the same kind of regiment, and obviously you just got to be a little bit fortunate too at the same time. And so, Don't tell Mr. James Worthy that I said Duke, by the way, please. I know you're on spectrum with them.
Won't tell anybody. Carolina.
Yeah, my apologies. We're gonna cut that actually. Cut that.
Yeah, we'll just edit it out there for you, Denny.
Good.
But before we move to the next topic, you snuck into the McDonald's game. Tell us about
absolutely. I was a late bloomer in the sense of everything, man. I was good in my field. I was a good player. Don't get me wrong. I was good at a lot of things, but not great at anything. So I didn't get highly recruited till like my junior, senior year. So even in middle school, like I was good, but I made a name for myself later on. In high school, I had to went to ABCD camp, and each summer I made a name for myself. But coming from Long Island, you don't get a lot of respect. We don't have a lot of guys that are known to come from Long Island. You know, we get Dr. J, Wally Zerbiak, Tobias Harris, so we didn't have a bunch of guys. We didn't have a lot of recognition. It was mostly city kids, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, that type of thing. So in order to get my respect in those boroughs, I had to work my way up, and I had to get invited to ABCD camp. So I was lucky enough to get invited. My coach did a great job. My AAU coach helped me get there as a youngin, going into my sophomore year, going into my junior year. Then I started getting some notoriety. I was getting recruited, but still not highly recruited. Some mid majors and some higher D1s, but it wasn't like the highest of high,
Yeah.
I think NC State was one of my bigger schools that recruited me before Carolina did, and maybe Pitt. The following year when I went to ABCD again, that's when I started getting recruited by Carolina, and then UConn. I kept St. John's on the list because they're close to home, but that's when I kind of, I wouldn't say blew up, but that was my coming out party. And the fact that I was getting recruited by those schools and I committed. I did my I committed early. I think helped push me into getting into the McDonald's game, because again, we had a lot of guys that were pros that were going straight to the league right from my class out of high school. But yeah, my AU coach Gary Charles, shout out to him, get me into ABCD camp early and allow me to showcase myself, and then also pushing for me to get into McDonald's game, and having North Carolina stamp behind my name definitely helped me sneak in there. But I was good, but again, I was not one of the top of the top guys in my class like that until later on. I got bumped up later on.
Yeah, for sure. You hear that, Eric? North Carolina stamp, not Duke.
Nobody wants to stamp.
You're never going to let you live that.
No,
I know, man.
We're not going to let it go at all.
I'm sure just because the big game just happened. We just beat Duke. They played tonight, so
that's true.
I was going to say it reminds me of the game that was just a few days ago where it looked like Duke was going to win. North Carolina just kind of took it at the end. So I'm sure.
Yeah, we were losing
all
the whole game. We never had the lead all game up until point.
I know. Saw that.
Yeah.
Hell of a game.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I mean, obviously, I think at some point it probably put a chip on your shoulder a little bit too, just gave you more to kind of go after and keep going, right? Because you were never
absolutely. I feel like looking back at it, I feel like a lot of kids or guys that were given so much so early didn't, I wouldn't say pan out, but they didn't last long.
Yep.
Because I guess maybe they didn't have the same chip, but I was still hungry to prove myself over and over again because I was never given the title of the best guy in my class. So still, even being a McDonald's guy, I had to even come into Carolina, not starting, and then playing less my sophomore year because we had no whole nother recruiting class coming in after me. And then finally getting through my junior year and then coming to the league, being a second round pick, now I got to reprove myself again and then not playing at all. So having that chip on my shoulder and having to come up from the ground, you know what I'm saying? And get it from out the mud or however you want to say it. It definitely kept me, hungry and kept that chip and kept me never satisfied to want to stay in the league longer and to continue to prove myself. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way because, again, I've seen a lot of guys get so much notoriety early on and then it just didn't happen for them, or because they got complacent, they got satisfied, So, yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen for me that way.
Yeah, no, that's the best way to do it, I think. And that's what made you stay in the NBA for 15 years, right? So it kept the drive going.